Thank you so much for coming to the Reading the West Awards ceremony. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Stephanie, and I'm the president of the Mountains and Plains Independent Bookseller Association Board, and I'm also the marketing director at Boulder Bookstore. And I am so thrilled to introduce our special guest MC tonight, who's Julie Murphy. Julie lives in North Texas with her husband, who loves her dog, who adores her, and her cats, who tolerate her. She's the #1 New York Times bestselling author of the young adult novels Dumplin', which is now a film on Netflix, Puddin', Ramona Blue, and Side Effects May Vary. Dear Sweet Pea was her debut middle grade novel, for which she won the 30th Annual Reading the West Book Award for Young Readers category. Julie, take it away.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for that kind introduction, Stephanie. This is such a wonderful honor to be here tonight and getting to celebrate the fantastic shortlist that we have, and also all of our wonderful winners. And on top of that, all of our fantastic independent booksellers. This is the 32nd annual award honoring books published in 2021. The Reading the West okay, we're going to start over. The Reading the West Book Awards honor the best fiction, nonfiction, and illustrated books for adults and children set in one of the 12 MPIBA member states, or created by an author or artist living in or working in the region. The awards celebrate the spirit of the West and the rich variety of writing in and about our region, and reflect the extraordinary diversity of our reading public. This is the 32nd annual award honoring books published in 2021. The shortlists are selected by booksellers, but the final winners have been chosen by the public and bookseller votes. And now, without further ado, I'm so excited to share with you the shortlist for fiction. Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. The Removed by Brandon Hobson. My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. Reprieve by James Hahn Matson, and The Five Wounds by Kirsten Valdez Quaid. And the winner is Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. Anthony Doerr cannot join us live today, but he did send a video to give a little acceptance speech for us.
Thanks so much, everybody. I wish I could be tuning in live with all of you, but I'm going to be in Denmark the night of the ceremony, hopefully asleep in the middle of the night. So I'm recording this a little bit in advance from beautiful Idaho, where I live. I've got my sheet. First of all, big thanks to host Julie Murphy, a writer who has helped so many young people feel comfortable with themselves. Thanks for doing this. Congrats to all the other honorees, like Kirsten, who is amazing, and Ash Davidson, and Sarah Vogel, and Joy Harjo. Those are just the people I could think of off the top of my head. There's a book about skiing powder, one of my favorite activities, by Heather Hansman, among the finalists. Congratulations to all of you, and what an honor to be a part of all those amazing books. Thanks to all the great folks at Scribner, Nan Graham, Kate Lloyd, Brianna Yamashita. Thanks to Wendy Sheenan and Simon & Schuster, and Tracy Nelson, and Christine Foy, of course, and the rest of the Simon & Schuster indie sales team. Thanks to my agent, Binky Urban. Thanks to my amazing family, especially my wife, Shauna, who worked so hard on this book with me all through the pandemic. Thanks to Heather Duncan and every single member of the Mountains and Plains Independent Booksellers Association. What a cool thing to recognize authors in this way. Most of all, huge thanks to all the readers and booksellers across 14 states who voted not just for this weird novel, but for all these books, and mostly for participating in the culture of reading and attaching readers to books. That's one of the most important things we can be doing. Keep expanding understanding and empathy across divisions. To live in and raise kids in and occasionally set fiction in a place like this in Idaho, in a state that's often confused with Iowa and sometimes associated with intolerance, I try to make my own tiny effort to show that Idaho can also be a place of love, kindness, and complexity, and immense beauty. Love, lots of love, and immense gratitude to everybody. Thanks so much for recognizing my work on all this wonderful work tonight. I hope everybody stays well.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us via video. And I hope you're having an amazing time in Denmark. I'm very happy to be here tonight, but wow, I'm a little bit jealous. And congratulations, Anthony. Our shortlist nominees for debut fiction, without further ado, are Sight Fidelity by Claire Boyles, No Heaven for Good Boys by Keisha Bush, Damnation Spring by Ash Davidson, Brother, Sister, Mother, Explorer by Jamie Figueroa, You Belong Here Now by Diana Rostad. And our winner is Damnation Springs by Ash Davidson. Ash could not join us tonight, but they did send over a video prepared by her just in case she couldn't make it. Oh wait, no, I'm so sorry, Ash is here. I'm so sorry, Ash, I misread my notes and you're here, and I'm so sorry. I'm so glad you're here.
Really? Thank you so much. This was such a surprise and such an honor, and I'm a little starstruck from the last video, so forgive me while I get my bearings. Thank you to the Mountains and Plains Independent Booksellers Association and to every single reader who voted for Damnation Spring. I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for each of you, and if it wasn't for independent booksellers who really are the beating hearts of literary communities all across the West and across the country. Thank you for everything you do to connect writers with our readers. Thank you for every shelf talker, every event, every hand sell, every social media post. Thank you for all the late nights and the weekends and the energy and the care and the heart and the passion and the brains that you bring to your work. We all owe you such an incredible debt. And I want to say a special thank you to my local independent bookseller, Corey, at Brightside Bookshop in Flagstaff, Arizona, who is the person who first told me about the Reading the West Book Awards. I worked on Damnation Spring for about 10 years, and in about year 8, the Y key on my old laptop broke. Sorry, my dog Winston has decided he'd like to be part of the event too. So the Y key broke, which meant that I then had to copy and paste the letter Y anytime that I wanted to use it, which will really make you think about whether you really need the word really in that sentence. And I think that Damnation Spring would probably still be a Word document on that old laptop if it wasn't for my brilliant agent, Chris Paris Lamb, and his associate, Sarah Bowling, if it wasn't for Kathy Belden, Rebecca Jett, and Nan Graham, and a host of other people at Scribner who saw this book so clearly, even when I was struggling to. So thank you for this honor. Congratulations to the other honorees. And I think that this award, in my case, truly belongs to a long list of people who took a big chance on Damnation Spring and on me. Thank you all so, so much.
Thank you, Ash, so much for joining us in person. And I'm glad that you could join us in person. I'm especially glad because we got to see Winston in person. And congratulations again. I'm so excited to share with you the shortlist nominees for poetry. The Perseverance by Raymond Antrobus. Welcome to Midland by Logan Cure. Stay Safe by Emma Hine. Desert Apocrypha by Zach Hively. A Gospel of Bones by Susie Q. Smith. And the winner is Desert Apocrypha by Zach Hively. Zach will be joining us live.
Yes, I'm live. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you all so much for doing this. And, just first of all, I want to say what an honor this is to even be listed alongside all these other outstanding poets. Congratulations to all 4 of you on your books and your successes with writing. I know poetry seems to be a very private thing, both in reading and in writing. And yet this book, I really learned that's not the case. This book couldn't have even come together if I hadn't been able to do a couple public readings while the book was still being shaped and being able to really bounce things off of listeners a lot, like I think stand-up comedians do. So that was a real fun experience and a real treat to remind myself that no, poetry is this tangible, audible, connected thing, that there's a community. And then of course I have my own community that made this book possible. First of all, Barrett, to whom I dedicated this little book. B.B. Price, I think he's the greatest poet the world doesn't know. And he's my mentor and my friend, and his praise for the book and his just support of me as a human being as part of the reason I'm here where I am today. This book also wouldn't be here without Magdalena Lily McCarson, who surprised me by asking me to write a suite of poems to hang at a gallery for an art show, which is something I'd never considered with poetry before. So not only did that end up being the first suite of poems in Desert Apocrypha at her show Sacred, but it again taught me that poetry is this tangible thing, which shaped the way the book actually came together on a typewriter and handwritten. Some journals published some of these poems before they were published. So big thanks to Banshee in Ireland and to Trickster and Conception Southwest here in New Mexico for giving me a chance and helping me believe that, yeah, this book deserves to be printed. Indie bookstores are the stars of tonight, along with the writers. And Collected Works in Santa Fe has been really supportive of me and my peers at Kasu Raka doing events and readings as soon as we could, emerging from everything the last couple of years. So huge thanks to them and to all my peers at Kasu Raka. We're a pretty good bunch of poets and nonfiction writers. And I really appreciate they inspire me anytime I pick up one of their books. My mom and dad are watching, so I better remember to thank them for just always being supportive, and thank my sisters who better have voted for this book. But all kinds of friends and readers who shared the book, who have bought it as gifts for their friends, and the strangers who read this book, who find it in the weirdest places and send me notes letting me know what it means to them. That really keeps me going. And I don't know if they realize to what extent that's true. But the community's bigger than any of us ever know, I think, when we're writing. And even though he's in the other room, unlike poor Winston, poor Hawkeye is in the other room, he was a big inspiration for this book. My dog, he saw the whole thing through. He's wiser than I'll ever be, and he teaches me how to take in this world of ours. So he's in the book, and it really wouldn't be what it is without him. But really, finally, congratulations to all the writers being celebrated tonight. You all have built out my to-be-read bookshelf for the year, and I'm stoked for all of you. So thank you all, and thank you Mountains and Plains booksellers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Zach, for joining us tonight, and congratulations again, and double congratulations to your dog for being such an amazing inspiration. On to our next short list of nominees for nonfiction. Wildcat, The Untold Story of Pearl Hart, the Wild West's Most Notorious Woman Bandit by John Bosnecker. On Juneteenth by Annette Gordon-Reed. Bison, Portrait of an Icon by Audrey Hall and Chase Reynolds Ewald. After 100 Winters, In Search of Reconciliation on America's Stolen Lands by Margaret D. Jacobs. And The Redemption of Wolf 302, From Renegade to Yellowstone Alpha Male by Rick McIntyre. And the winner is On Juneteenth by Annette Gordon-Reed. Annette could not join us in person this evening, but she did share a video with us, which we will be playing momentarily.
I was very happy to learn that On Juneteenth has won the MBIPA Reading the West Award for General Nonfiction. On Juneteenth is a very personal book, and it meant a great deal to me that other people appreciate what I had to say. Thank you again for this deep honor. I was very happy to learn that
Thank you so much, Annette, for that wonderful video, and congratulations. Our next short list of nominees is for memoir and biography. The Lady and the Mountain Man, Isabella Bird, Rocky Mountain Jim, and the Unlikely Friendship by Chris Entz. Powder Days, Ski Bum, Ski Towns, and the Future of Chasing Snow by Heather Hansman. Poet Warrior by Joy Harjo. Fox and I, An Uncommon Friendship by Catherine Raven. The Farmer's Lawyer, The North Dakota Nine and the Fight to Save the Family Farm by Sarah Vogel. And the winner is Poet Warrior by Joy Harjo. Joy could not join us live today, but I believe that we do have a video from her, and we'll be playing that in just a moment.
NJ Stongo. I want to say how deeply honored I am to accept this award for Poet Warrior, my second memoir from the Mountains and Plains booksellers. It means a lot to me because this award comes from those people on the front lines of literature who meet with the public and you know, take care of literature, take care of our books, our poetry, our stories. So thank you. And thank you for the readers too, those who still read and listen and think about where we're going in this world and where we've been, and imagine, those who imagine and those who still play with imagination. Thank you so much. And I remember in 1991, it was the second year of the Mountains and Plains Booksellers Awards when my book In Mad Love and War won for poetry, which was a huge thing for me. I had just, that was my kind of second book of larger real size book of poetry. And to win that award really helped open the door, the poetry door for me. So thank you for hanging in there all these years and keeping it going and keeping, helping keep literature alive and moving in this world. So thank you, Mado.
Thank you, Joy, and congratulations again. Our next category is Eating the West, Culinary Writing and Cookbooks. Spectacular Spreads, 50 Amazing Food Spreads for Any Occasion by Megan Brown. High Altitude Breakfast, Sweet and Savory Baking at 5,000 Feet and Above by Nicole Hampton. Mexican Food, The Ultimate Cookbook by Luis Robles et al. Earth Medicines, Ancestral Wisdom, Healing Recipes, and Wellness Rituals from a Cucandera by Felicia Cocatzin Ruiz. Joshua Weissman, An Unapologetic Cookbook by Joshua Weissman. And the winner is Earth Medicines, Ancestral Wisdom, Healing Recipes, and Wellness Rituals from a Cucandera by Felicia Cocatzin Ruiz.
Thank you, Julie. I'm so excited, and I just want to say congratulations to everyone else also who was nominated. I want to say thank you to my editor, Jury Sondker, who was originally from Roost Books. She was the one who reached out to me and really just encouraged me to write the book, and really saw that my personal story could be peppered into all of these different recipes. So I just want to say thank you, Jury, for holding my hand during this whole process. Thank you to the photographer for just being with me through this whole journey. We were together for a year and a half, putting this book together during a pandemic. And everyone that has reached out about the book or shared reviews has always said the same thing, that the recipes came to life because of your photos. So thank you, Nikki. Thank you to Roost Books for publishing the book, for your support, and for being in alignment with me wanting to be in all of these different independent bookstores and all these different spaces. Hopefully this award will help with that process even more. Thank you to my husband for being so patient during this whole process. To my community here in the Southwest, here in Arizona, virtual as well, because everyone really has been so supportive in uplifting my work. And thank you to the Mountains and Plains, the independent booksellers, because there are a lot of books out there written about Indigenous foods and about Indigenous medicines and healing ways, but not very many of those books are actually written by Indigenous people. So I want to say thank you for helping me feel seen. And I guess lastly, I dedicated the book to my ancestors, and so I want to thank them as well, because I know they're really smiling with me in this moment. So congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Felicia, for joining us here tonight, and congratulations again. Our shortlist nominees for picture book are Slow Down Tumbleweed by Haven Iverson, illustrated by Rob Saya Jr. A Dinosaur Named Ruth by Julia Lyon, illustrated by Alexandra Bai. Reed Island by Nicole Magistro, illustrated by Alice Vegan. B is for Bison by Greg Paprocki. Watercress by Andrea Wang, illustrated by Jason Chin. And the winner is Watercress by Andrea Wang and Jason Chin. Both Andrea and Jason are here tonight, and they will be joining us in just a moment.
Thank you so much, Julie. And oh, my heart is pounding. Thank you to the Mountains and Plains Independent Booksellers Association, the awards committee, and all the readers. I'm just so thrilled that Watercress has won this amazing award. And congratulations to all the finalists for their wonderful contributions to books for young readers. Thank you to everyone who made this book possible: editor Neil Porter, art director Jennifer Brown, and the entire Holiday House team, my agent Erin Murphy, and especially Jason Chin, whose art brought this book to just luminous life. When I moved to Colorado 6 years ago, it was just a few months before the release of my debut picture book, and I had no idea how to launch a book, and I didn't know very many people here. But I needn't have worried. The amazing indie booksellers in the Denver area welcomed me, took me under their wings, and made sure that there were always at least a few people at my events. And over the past couple of years, when in-person events suddenly shifted to virtual ones, booksellers from across the region have continued to welcome me and support my books, particularly Watercress, and I'm just eternally grateful. And I also have to confess that when I moved out west, I brought with me the snobbery of a New England book nerd. I didn't believe that my books with their Asian and Asian American characters would fit in here, especially that a quiet story about a daughter of Chinese immigrants picking watercress by the side of the road would resonate with anyone. And I've really never been so happy to be wrong. I've heard from so many booksellers and readers in the region about their own stories of resilience and survival out here, where the weather can be harsh and temperamental and the landscape unforgiving. And it occurred to me that the pioneering spirit of the West is a lot like the adventurous spirit of immigrants, such as my parents. I'm so grateful to all of you for reading Watercress, for championing it, and most of all, for finding your own connections to the story. I know I've said it a lot before in other places, but I'm going to say it again. We're all more alike than we are different. And now you and I are connected, and that is a gift. So thank you again for this incredible honor.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to the Mountains and Plains Independent Booksellers Association. Congratulations to all of the nominees and the winners tonight. It's a true honor to be in your company. And thank you to all the readers and booksellers who voted for Watercress. It is a real honor. I'm very, very grateful to you. You know, this book is about many things. You know, it's about immigrants. It's about belonging and fitting in. It's about family history and taking pride in your heritage. It's memoir. It's Andrea's lived experience. It's about foraging and thrift. And now I've learned that it's about the mountains and plains too. It's a Western story too. I guess it's set in Ohio. I guess that counts as plains. It's really an American story. And I'm so grateful. I should back up. It felt to me when I first read it like a very specific story, like because it's Andrea's from her childhood, her lived experience. But I'm so grateful for all of the booksellers who have helped bring this story out into the world and share it, and help share it with readers, and help readers find it and form their own connections to it. Because like I said, it is a very American story. And even though it feels very specific, it has a lot of universal truth and emotion in it. So I'm so grateful to all the booksellers who have helped get it out into the world and into the hands of readers. I owe you, or we owe you, so many thanks for that. And it's because of your work that, and your hard work, I know it's not easy. Once I worked in an independent bookstore myself, but it's because of your hard work that we're building a culture of reading, and that's so important. So thank you all very much.
Thank you so much to Jason and Andrea, and congratulations again. I will now read our shortlist nominees for young readers ages 7 through 12. Barefoot Dreams of Petra Luna by Alda P. Dobbs. Carry Me Home by Janet Fox. Alone by Megan E. Freeman. Salt Magic by Hope Larson, illustrated by Rebecca Mock. And Ancestor Approved, edited by Cynthia Leidick-Smith. And our winner this evening is Ancestor Approved, edited by Cynthia Leidick-Smith. Cynthia is here live, and she'll be joining us in just a moment.
Pince Estonco. On behalf of the contributors to Ancestor Approved Intertribal Stories for Kids, it's an honor to accept the Reading the West Young Readers Book Award from the Mountains and Plains Independent Booksellers Association. Mado, thank you, dear booksellers. And thank you to the readers who voted for Ancestor Approved. We appreciate your celebrating Indigenous literature for kids and sending the message that our voices are valued and welcome. The overarching goal of this anthology was to celebrate community on the page, behind the bylines, and in the circle of story. The book is a collection of contemporary intertribal short stories and poetry. It showcases the writing and art of 16 authors and the cover illustrator. It was a blessing to work with distinguished elders, Joseph Bruchac and Tim Tingle, highly acclaimed authors, Art Colson, Christine Day, Eric Gansworth, Don Quigley, Carol Lindstrom, Rebecca Roanhorse, David A. Robertson, Monique Gray Smith, Tracy Sorrell, Erica T. Worth, and Brian Young, as well as new voices, Andrea L. Rogers and Kim Rogers. This interconnected collection is a product of their thoughtful collaboration. An example of the approach is that the cover by Navajo Nicole Neidhart was created in consultation with Wichita Kim Rogers and reflected Kim's protagonist, who was a powwow shawl dancer. Kids are often interested in where the title comes from. The obvious answer in this case is that Ancestor Approved springs from Rebecca Roanhorse's fun story about a feisty res dog. But beyond that, the title says to Native and First Nations kids that they are loved, that our intertribal community is characterized by friendship and solidarity, that the diversity within Indian country reflected in these pages is in keeping with our values. It says to Indigenous kids that people like them belong in the world of books. And to our non-Native friends and blended family members, it's a reminder that Native people and tribal nations are still here and always will be. It says we're three-dimensional human beings with a full range of emotions, that we can be heroes. Everyone cheers. From the beginning of my writing journey, local bookstores have been fundamental. My earliest stacks of books, read these, study this, came from Toad Hall Children's Bookstore in Austin, Texas. And now I consider Book People, my local indie, my second home. Congratulations to my fellow finalists. Congratulations to my fellow winners, Mado, to in-house editor Rosemary Brosnan, to Molly, Courtney, and Lauren, all at Harper Children's. Mado, to voice actors Kenny Ramos and Delana Studi for their work on the audio edition, and to educator Andrea Page, who created Teacher Guide. Mado, to my career, long agent, possibly my most successful long-term relationship, Ginger Knowlton. Thanks again Booksellers, readers, and friends, I am blown away by the enthusiasm you've shown for Ancestor Approved, for the entire Heart Drum imprint list at Harper Children's in partnership with We Need Diverse Books, and for the rise in Native literary voices and visions. Booksellers, you are our heroes. Again, we are so, so grateful to you.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, a career-long agent. I think that that's an incredible testament of relationship. And congratulations again to my fellow Texan, Cynthia. Without further ado, this is our last category. This is the shortlist nominees for young adult ages 13 and up. This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. How Moon Fuentes Fell in Love with the Universe by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland. A Snake Falls to Earth by Darcy Little Badger. Bad Girls Never Say Die by Jennifer Mathieu. And the winner is A Snake Falls to Earth by Darcy Little Badger. Darcy is here live and will be joining us in just a moment.
Hello, can y'all hear me? Perfect. All right, first of all, the amount of Indigenous writers being recognized is just giving me joy. But congratulations for everyone, for the other finalists, and just everyone who was recognized by this. I did want to say, Asteo, thank you to the voters and the Mountains and Plains Independent Bookseller Association for this recognition. The passionate, incredible people at the heart of indie bookstores are champions of books like A Snake Falls to Earth. You connect stories with readers, and for that, I'm so very grateful. Thank you also to the team at Levine Corrido, especially my editor, Nick Thomas. And I'd also like to recognize my agent, Michael Curry, my spouse, Taryn, my mother, who is here today as well. And of course, all the booksellers, librarians, teachers, bloggers, writers, friends, and readers who support my work. And now, if you'll humor me, I'd like to talk about geoscience. Okay, I earned my PhD from Texas A&M University for studying plankton, and one of the early things us geoscientists learn about is the KPG boundary, formerly known as the KT boundary. It's a layer of rock that formed during the violent mass extinction event that ended the reign of the dinosaurs. But here's the thing, it also killed a lot of plankton. With a microscope, we can see visual evidence of their death in the stratigraphic record. There's a type of plankton known as forams that have calcium carbonate shells, and that's the same materials as the seashells that you find along the beach. It also means that forams are well preserved in the fossil record. So right before the KPG boundary, these forams come in a dazzling variety of shapes and sizes, ranging from relatively large for a single-celled organism to relatively small. But right after the boundary, much of that diversity is gone. The big forams are missing. In fact, the majority of all foram species are extinct. And we see this in the geological records across the world. We may not have a time machine, but the Earth tells us stories if we care to search and to pay attention. So speaking of little life forms, there's a character in my book named Ami, and he's based on the Houston toad native to Texas. The Houston toad will just grow to 2 or 3 inches long, maybe 3.5 inches if they're really mighty. And they have the most serious expression on their little face. At least that's how it seems to humans like me. Like, I don't know the thoughts of toads. They're probably quite preoccupied with finding food and toad companionship. When the males sing, their blue throats puff out and their mating calls are shrill and plaintive, or so they say. Although I've spent a great deal of my life in Texas, the homeland of my people, the Lippon Apache, I can't recall hearing a Houston toad. In fact, you can dwell in Houston all your life without hearing their call. That's because they no longer live there in the wild. Due to habitat loss and other factors such as drought, this species has been endangered for decades, and it's just one of many. And the meteor didn't do this, humans did. But we can also protect, and our capability to love and protect is unprecedented in the billions of year history of the Earth. Every day we can and do resist forces of destruction that threaten everything from little toads to each other. My great-great-grandmother Lorenza was born in the 1870s, the same time the US and Mexico launched joint campaigns to round up and eliminate the Lipan Apache. If my ancestors hadn't fought, not just to live, but also to make a better world for future generations, I wouldn't be here, or there'd be an emptiness in my soul. But they did fight, and they succeeded despite all the odds. And so I end by saying there's a wisdom in hope, I think. It drives us to fight for the best possible future. Our actions today impact the lives of children and generations to come, and that is so important to remember. The future story is not yet written, it's not set in stone, and that in itself is a source of hope. So I say, be well, my friends, and thank you so much for listening. Asteo.
Thank you so much for joining us, Darcy. That was a fantastic speech. I am such a geology nerd, so you had me from the very beginning. Thank you so much, and congratulations again to Darcy. That is it for us this evening. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. I would especially like to say thank you to all of the independent booksellers out there. I've been publishing since 2014, and you all have meant so much to me throughout my career, but especially the last few years. I don't think any of us authors know how we would be making it through this new normal that we are currently navigating without you. I can tell you that a lot of careers would probably been crashing and burning without your support and without you continuing to champion books and fighting for the right to read. Again, I would like to congratulate all the winners and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who sent in a video to film, with a little speech for us. We truly enjoyed it and we really appreciate it. If you would like to check out any of these books or any other books, please check out your local independent bookstore and visit readingthewest.com to find one near you. Thank you so much.